I mean, when you're the solo guy, everything is on you,
Right.
like if you got to stop, go do a service call or things of those natures, when there's a change, everything changes. It's not like you can just pull out, run up, do something, come back to help out the guy out on another job.
Welcome to the Onsite podcast. We chat with contractors, educators, industry professionals about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's fucking get into it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Onsite podcast. Today we are on episode 26 and we are chatting with Allan with Coho Electric, a master electrician out of Prince George. I'm super excited to have you here today, Allan. Thank you so much. So Allan, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
It's Allan Horning from Northern BC, family man, electrician, trying to make my business grow and do all the good things in the community that one can do.
There we go. Awesome. So Allan is with Coho Electric in Prince George. I always want to say Prince Rupert. I don't know why I want to say Prince Rupert, but I think that's it's what?
It's rainy there. I don't want to live there.
Oh, yeah, it is rain. Everywhere is rainy in BC. No, Allan is with Coho Electric in Prince George, and I'm excited to dive into this today with you. So you're a father, business owner. Are you married?
Yep, married.
Yeah. So he's a husband, a father, a business owner, and carries a lot of, the normal pressure of entrepreneurship on his shoulders. Just like everyone that's listening, he's just like you. And so I'm excited to dig into this with you today, Allan. And so you're a master electrician. How long have you been an electrician for?
Pushing 20 years.
20. And when did you become a master electrician?
Probably 10 years ago.
10 years.
10 years ago now.
And when did you officially kind of start your own business?
2015, I think we kicked it off.
Okay. And what type of projects were you working on in 2015? So how long is that? My math isn't mathing right now, but
10 years.
10 years. 10 years. So What type of projects have you done over the past 10 years?
Lots of custom homes, lots of renovations, those sorts of things, smaller commercial jobs.
Always in Prince George?
No, we started on Vancouver Island in Campbell River, and then 8 years ago we decided to move back to PG where we were from, so family could our kids could grow up with their cousins and stuff.
Okay. So what has it been like since you've been back to Prince George?
That's not bad. It's home, I guess. It'll always be home, but it's definitely the winters suck more than on the island, that's for sure.
But the workflow, how's the workflow in Prince George in comparison to what you had before?
It's about the same kind of like Prince George is a busy little town for, we're not that big of a population, but we're kind of right in the middle of the province. So there's lots of stuff coming and going. And lately it just seems like everything they're building like crazy here.
Right.
So
I was just in Chilliwack. I know that's not the same as Prince George, but it's upper BC there or lower BC. I don't know what's upper or lower. I guess you would be upper and that would be lower. But no, it was very busy there. And so I know that BC, just in general, I think the population, interior Vancouver area is dispersing to the outer communities. And that's probably why you're seeing some traction, because it's probably a little bit more affordable than living, directly in Vancouver. I know it's hectic there. Do you find that there are people, or maybe you don't even know this, but do you find that people are moving from the interior Vancouver to Prince George?
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt. Like I've had a couple of friends that have sold their houses, that they bought when they were 20 down there and sold for ridiculous amounts of money and are moving up here and just have this list of this is what I want and I'm spending $1 million and I want an indoor pool. I want a massive shop because it's affordable here. More affordable than down there, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, more affordable. An average house in Vancouver can probably be close to $1 million all day, and that's just probably a very average house.
Nothing special.
No. So these people that are coming from Vancouver to Prince George, what type of work are they in? Like what type of industries are they capable of just leaving this busy community to go to, a smaller little community?
Lots of like healthcare workers, like I just know a couple that moved up and he's kind of in construction and she's a nurse. So like there's no problem getting a job, right? In the medical field, there's no shortage of positions. It seems like we're lacking lots here because especially for doctors, who wants to live northern BC when you could pretty much live wherever you want to live.
Right.
So
a lot of service professionals are finding their way from Vancouver to Prince George. Well, sounds like you're in a growing community. I know that Chilliwack, I don't know the difference. Like, I'm not hugely wrapped around the understanding of BC. I just know that it's really busy in Vancouver and everyone else is starting to get some of the growth. So sounds like you're in a community that will continue to grow. I decided to plant your roots there with you and your family so that your kids were closer to, your family. Your wife's family's from Prince George as well?
Yeah, just her dad lives here now, and her family's all from the island is why we moved there originally, but they're not, her brother and sisters aren't really having any kids, so.
Oh, okay. So you want to bring family back to Prince George.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So the podcast is called Onsite. Talk about getting contractors on site and different projects. Talk about, some of the existing projects that you've had on site. Allan, is there any project that comes to mind, over the past decade, whether it's on the island or wherever you've worked, even maybe before you're a master electrician, that really just kind of hits home with being like super memorable project? I have some projects when I was young that I recall. Just to give you some examples, digging deep, I'd like to hear from you on some, but I remember like when 9/11 happened, I was working on a head frame in Esterhazy at a potash mine, and it was this crazy project. I was super young. I had no idea really what was going on. It felt like it was just a party the entire time because we were on the road, and we always had lots of fun, but that was just a bit of a unique situation. And that project in general was super cool and memorable. Outside of 9/11, it was just a memorable experience. Is there any project in your in your lifespan that really stands out, and if so, why?
Well, when we lived in Campbell River, I was part of construction of the new hospital. And the reason that I went home to do that job was because we had just had our daughter. So I worked on that project. And then I was super excited because I thought we would have our son there because my wife got pregnant sooner than later. And then we ended up just packing up and moving, and we had our baby in PG. So I was kind of bummed out because all the labor delivery rooms had like ocean views and super sick, and then we didn't get to partake in that.
Oh, so you were looking forward to this incredible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then you didn't get that. You just got got PG.
Stuck in the PG hospital. I'm like, oh, there's no ocean view here. This is lame.
So that project, how long were you on that project for?
Almost a year and a half, I think, by the time I got in there, because I got in late because I used to work on the road too. And then once my wife had our daughter, I lasted about 3 weeks on the road, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, working on the road is tough. I've got a lot of memories of working on the road. This is interior. I was working in Regina at a large commercial project, and it is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. You feel like you just get lost in the mix as a number, and you're just kind of clocking in, clocking out, doing a couple things throughout the day, and you're really just not moving things forward. I worked on a lot of industrial gas plants as well on the road, and I don't know what my longest stint away was. Probably almost like 5 months. I was like 12 and 2, or I think it was something like that as carpenter. And man, it's just really hard to have a family and be away. What were the reasons why you were just like, it only lasted for a little bit of time and then you were out?
Well, I was in Fort McMurray having fun with the boys in camp, as you said, doing industrial. And I think it was like the third call of just complete breakdown and chaos at home with the baby screaming in the background, mom's crying,
Yeah.
You're having beers with the boys and they're like, you motherfucker.
No, I get it, man. Like, at least you got that call though, right? Because a lot of times what happens is your partner just kind of eats it because they think that you have to provide. I was just talking with another guy about David, actually, a couple podcasts ago about, the challenge of working on the road and how impactful it is on everyone. It's just because you're there having beers with the boys doesn't mean that it's all fun and rainbows. Like, you're sitting there, you've got your small little shit bed, you're eating, okay food. Yeah, shit food. Sometimes it's okay.
Once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. But you know what? It's tough. And, fortunately, your wife called you and said it's time to come home. And I mean, you came home and you're making it work. And that's what a real, man should do. Grab control of the problems and own it. And I love that you did that. Because there's a lot of people that don't. They just live there.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I quit, because I went to my GF who I'd worked with previously on jobs, and I'm like, I'm out, dude. Like when I fly out Tuesday, I'm not coming back. And then, some of the other GFs that live for the jobs are like, what do you mean you quitting? I'm like, I'm going home to my family, dude. Like, I could care less if the project gets done. Like, I got called to come home, so I'm going home.
Yeah.
Period.
It is a lifestyle of different people, the road life. There are people that really love being disconnected from their families and being away and having beers with the boys and extending it into the wee hours of the night and, then somehow stumbling into work the next day and cutting off a 12-hour day. It's not for everyone. It is a hard life. I never actually made it to Fort Mac. I looked at it quite a bit, actually, and
you should have went, buddy.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have.
It's something that, you got to go just to experience it. Like, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, I'd have to shave my beard, which I'm not doing.
I'm also not a fan of that, but
I haven't actually stopped working on the gas plants. I don't remember the last time I didn't have a beard. I was telling my daughter the other day, I was like, I think I'm gonna trim my beard, and she's like, you're absolutely not. Like, I won't even know who you are. You look weird. Don't ever do it. And now you're part of the beard family. But when you work on a gas plant, you have to shave it. You can just have a mustache.
Yeah, nobody likes the mustache either. Like,
yes, that's not good.
It's not good at all.
Well,
it's terrible. My daughter also doesn't like the beard shave.
How old's your daughter?
Like, she's 9.
9.
Like, my beard was significantly bigger, and I came out with it trimmed short one day, and she just lost her shit. She's like, "What is that?"
No, I like it, man. This is a good length. This is as long as I'm getting. I can't get any longer.
I can get long. It doesn't grow. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those dudes like that grows big and then it looks good. Like, it's just, I look like a hobo, and then you trim it, and then this is kind of like the size where it looks not hobo-y.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I love beards. I think they keep you warm. We live in Canada, so we gotta stay a little bit extra warm.
Hey, we've got an ad here. Make sure to pay attention. What's up, guys? Are you a contractor or business owner looking to take things to the next level? Well, I've got something for you. The Elite Builder Society is a community that helps contractors grow and scale. For $49 a month, you can have access to 20 group coaching calls. Look, you're probably wondering, how am I going to show up to 20 calls, Brandon? That's a lot. And yeah, it is a lot for $49 a month. But every call is recorded so you can watch it at your leisure. But you get the best experience when you're live on the call with us. Okay, at the end of every webinar, there will be a Q&A where you can ask the industry expert questions that you can implement into your business. Look, if you're ready to take things to the next level for $49 a month, go to ebsworks.com and register today. I look forward to seeing you inside the community.
Awesome. Well, so you worked on the road, industrial carpenter, also sounds like you did commercial carpentry, and now,
electrical.
Sorry.
You're the carpenter.
Yeah, I'm the carpenter. Yeah, thanks for the correction. Buddy. It's early. I mean, it's not really that early, but early enough to fumble my words. Dude, the last one of the podcasts, I couldn't even say the guy's last name. So, I mean, we're moving forward. I just screwed up the industry that you're in. But you're electrician, did industrial, commercial, residential, now locked in pretty heavily on residential, and it probably feels like, like some of the tasks that you're doing, a lot of little service jobs and stuff like that. Do you ever feel like you're built for more, obviously, just because you've done such bigger projects?
For sure. Like, you see all these Instagram posts, all these, all the kids that couldn't make it to grade 12 and we're out here building $1 million jobs. And now I'm like putting 4 pot lights in somebody's living room. I'm like, sweet.
Hey, man, I heard this post the other day that electricians specifically are, it's going to be the most sought after industry with all of this desire, let's call it, for flipping everything to electrical. I don't know where all this electricity is going to come from at some point.
I don't either.
Everything is going to become electrical. Like, could you imagine if everybody flipped all of their furnaces to electric?
Yeah, you can't. There's just no way.
Yeah. Anyway, so with that being said, there is obviously a lot more work in electrical and will continue to evolve. But electrical, I think, is going to be super technical, like very similar to how, I mean, it's already super technical, but I think it's going to get even more technical. I remember when Ford came out with their aluminum bodied truck and a friend of mine owned a auto body shop, and just all of the advanced technology that they had to implement to adapt to that type of vehicle changed the entire industry.
Oh, yeah.
And with EV and all this other electronics, that's probably already started to happen. What do you think is one of the most significant things that you've noticed change in the industry in the past decade, and that really just stands out, that it's like a new milestone of change for electrical?
It's just like the automation of stuff, you can pretty much have a fully automated home. Like, hey, when I get a block within my house, my exterior lights turn on and my entryway, like you can program it to do absolutely anything. Like, it's wild.
And so my concern with all that automation always is like, I remember when I bought a new DVD player and then like a year later it was obsolete. So what happens when you wire your entire home? I mean, I guess this is job security, but what happens when you wire your entire home with forms of automation and then things become obsolete or non-existent anymore? Like what is a person, how can a person like protect themselves from going too far into the future?
Lots of it's like, their Wi-Fi devices. So, I mean, if you wanted to pull it out and put a regular switch in for your lights, you know what I mean? You can do that. Obviously, this is smaller scale. If you were doing all kinds of crazy stuff, you might run into some trouble. But lots of it's just devices that are Wi-Fi, and then you have an app, and you go in, program your little things. Lots of them are super user friendly. So, I mean, it's not too bad.
I guess you still have the hardware there.
Yeah,
so.
like you're still got the power there. So, I mean, you can swap them out and put a regular switch in.
Right. Okay. So it'll be fine. It's just going to be literally like changing a fixture in your home, as time progresses.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows? It's only going to get better.
Well, better, different.
I mean, our saving grace is that you still need the power. It's not.
Yes.
You just can't magically put some switches and lights in, and you're like, cool, no wires required.
No, you're gonna need more. Yeah, no wires required. So when they figure that one out, I remember. Yeah, well, yeah, because then everything's just happening. I don't even know. Yeah, but I remember when a friend of mine also owns an AV company, and he told me there's never going to be wireless speakers. Never going to be wireless speakers. I think there's wireless speakers now, aren't there?
I would think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Like I remember, like bigger wireless speakers, like bookshelf speakers. I guess you're an electrician. That's more automation and home audio, which kind of separates, from your type of industry. But I doubt that somebody's going to be able to pull 110 wirelessly. Otherwise people are just going to it's basically your house is going to be like a giant fucking lightning bolt transferring from one place to the other.
You probably don't want to live there. It's going to be so much like magnetic force. Probably wouldn't be good for you. Yeah,
the radiation. Yeah, everybody will be getting zapped throughout the days. Okay. All right. Enough nonsense about shit like that. But so what type of projects do you find yourself doing in I always want to say PV. You say PG, but
PG, yeah.
PG. Yeah. So what, and I only say PV because I like Puerto Vallarta. That's my favorite.
Yeah, who doesn't?
So PG and PV, they fit really closely together. So what type of projects are you working on in Prince George?
Seems to be lots of renovations lately. People are pumping in some money to their houses and doing, redoing full-on masters and knocking walls down. Kids left the house, making bigger rooms, adding on ensuite bathrooms, those sorts of, or lots of finishing basements, because lots of houses you just get, a non-finished basement when you buy a new one. Right. Lots of times, you know what I mean?
So a lot of the work that you're going to be doing is going to ultimately be with, a general contractor or a project manager or something like that. Do you find yourself working more with builders / GCs or more with homeowners?
It's like 50-50, I think. Okay. I'd like to swing it a little more, because then the GCs can deal with the homeowner and I can kind of just do me. Yeah, show up, do what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Yeah. Because then you're not sitting there trying to educate the client on, what needs to happen. You're just there to do your job and come and go as you need to and finish up. So these projects that you're working on, you're you're thinking about, I think you're thinking about getting another guy. It's just you right now, right? Smaller crew, a single man show, but thinking about getting another guy. What's the biggest challenge with working as a solo entrepreneur, like a guy who's doing it all? You're the guy who has to do the work, get the job, close the job, do the paperwork. I mean, you're carrying a lot of weight. And, you said the other day that you just got home at late night. It was 9 o'clock. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate with this, but what's that like for you?
Well, like yesterday was a bit of chaos. Like I had my customer, who's a builder friend of mine, call me on Sunday, and somebody had made a bunch of changes in the garage, and drywallers are coming this afternoon. So now I had to offset my schedule by 4 hours to take care of the changes and stuff like that. So, I mean, when you're the solo guy, everything is on you,
Right.
Like if you want to stop, go do a service call or things of those natures, when there's a change, everything changes. It's not like you can just pull out, run up, do something, come back to help out the guy out on another job.
Right. Have you been solo for the past decade?
Yeah.
Right. And so, but now you were talking about bringing on a helper, and why is that? You're just done. You're done with being the guy that does everything.
Well, there's just tasks that somebody else could be doing.
Right.
Like,
well, it's
drilling holes in 2x4s. Like somebody else could be doing those things.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're starting to realize and see that. We've only been working together for what's it now, 3-4 months now, something like that. Yeah. And I'm glad you're starting to see that. What was the shift? Do you feel like in your mindset as to when you really wanted to start running this like a business? You had to take action to work with us, but now you're taking further action to kind of continue to grow and step into really, really growing your business. What was the turning point for you?
I don't know. I just don't want to be the solo dude. I want to grow it. And hopefully by the time my kids get old enough, maybe they want to come be a part of it.
Right.
What's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Onsite podcast. So here's the deal. We want to grow this show and we need your help. It's simple. Pay the tax, share the show. That's it. Let's get back into it.
As you mature and grow, similar to the last situation, when your wife said, hey, it's time to come home. I think, everybody has these seasons of business where they experience, I want something dead, or I want something better for me and my family. And, you're taking control. I can see that you're taking control. You show up every day. It's challenging growing a business and doing all the work. It's super fucking hard. It requires a lot of extra work, because in addition to you going to do the work, you have to additionally put in more time to market your business, to create systems, to, discuss different strategies with other people, to do some networking, to build connections, and you still have to do work that generates cash flow to bring it in. And I've never seen you ever once complain about, doing hard things. And so I think that's,
but Dad, I don't get a choice.
No, you don't get a choice, but you know what? Even though people don't get a choice, they still don't take action. The other day I was talking to a guy. We're going to be potentially hosting a small little seminar, and I was talking to this contractor. He's got 6 guys. He's got lots of work, comes in on referral, but he has really no systems, no marketing strategy, no plan. And tomorrow all that work could be gone and he would have no fucking idea what to do. And, there's not a lot of people that are willing to take action to really build a true business, and I know that you are, bringing on this first guy, whenever that happens in the next couple months, I think will be, a big turning point for you. You'll really start to see how your time can be really repositioned to truly grow your business. And I'm excited for that new part for you. I think it also comes with confidence and time. You've been at it for 10 years, right? Yeah. And so you probably have acquired a lot more confidence to grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, and just dig in and get the work done. We've been working together for, again, a couple months. What do you feel like, is your level of confidence entering in to this next phase of your business now that you understand, that there's an organic process of generating leads? You know how to do the work on site. We don't have to teach you how to do that shit. But what's the level of confidence entering into this next phase of your business?
Let's go. I mean, I've done enough big projects that, you know, I've ran 50-man crews, those sorts of things. My first foreman gig, they just think I was on site less than a week, and they're like, "You're a foreman, like deadly." And they gave me the most expensive building on site to wire. Like, cool, this can't go sideways at all. Thanks, boys.
No, I've noticed that about you, that you're, you know, really into taking on some challenges. You know, we've talked about a few different strategies. It is challenging, honestly. Growing a business as a solopreneur is super challenging, and you've jumped in. You haven't slow played that, and I think that's really going to be the differentiator. One of the things that I've learned again over the years, I was talking about that other guy that wasn't willing to take action and just sitting there stagnant in the same position of life, thinking that his business is great. You're actively always pursuing and willing to take action. What are some of the things that you are confident in taking action over the future? Like, what are some changes that you feel like you're making with your business, you know, to try to create more opportunities?
We're starting to work with you guys was one, obviously, because I don't want to sit there and just be stagnant and sitting around. Like, you can't just, oh, I got work this week. Oh, I don't have work this week, you know?
Right.
So
what are some of the things that we've talked about that have given you a little bit more confidence that you're in control of the leads that come through? Like, what are some activities that you do to generate leads right now?
Well, just the small
Organically.
stuff, like we've talked about, you know, like being present on social media, because that's where everybody is these days. They got their phone in their hands staring at Instagram, so you might as well be on there posting stuff. You know, reconnecting with old clients and things of those sorts. Now we're going to start moving into putting some Google ads up to try and bring in some more work.
Yeah.
Just forward, always going forward, no steps backwards.
Always forward. Well, yeah. So I'll give you a little context. So some of the things that we've talked with Allan about, you know, and this is insight for you if you're listening in. If you're a small solopreneur trying to, you know, grow your lead following, grow your business, first thing you got to do is master organic leads. You know, you have to master every form of organic strategy, and you can reconnect with, like, you know, Allan said, you can reconnect with your previous clients. You can, you know, put out some branded yard signs or non-branded yard signs. Talked about that a little bit. You know, just organizing your customer base and making sure that they're actively referring you to as many people as humanly possible. Social media reinforces that act of referral, and that's why it's really important for you to be consistent with that. And so when you do all that together, that in itself will generate a threshold of opportunity. I really believe that there's a threshold. Everybody has a different threshold of opportunity. That other guy that has those 6 guys that thinks he's super busy, he's just sitting at his threshold, and he's just like not even interested in growing his business. But yet he could probably over 10x his business tomorrow. And most people just sit at this place of, I'm going to call it delusion. They sit at this place where they're just like, okay, cool, this is what I got. So I'm going to, you know, I got referrals, we're busy, and they feel busy, but they're just literally, you know, they're just investing in owning a job for themselves. And it becomes at some point so fucking miserable that you're just like, why do I do this? And I'm making no money because you're working. You know, how many hours did you work yesterday?
12.
12. And did you get paid for all 12 hours?
No.
No. Most solopreneurs don't get paid for the entire time that they're working. And that's why it becomes at some point just miserable that you're doing everything all the time. And then you look at how much you get paid and you're like, this fucking sucks. You know, it literally fucking sucks. And the only way to get outside of that is to maximize your organic process like you've been doing to a top threshold, and then incorporating a Google ad strategy, and then somehow at some point a little bit of a meta ad strategy. But mostly everybody is searching for a service-based contractor on Google. That's where they find them. And so they will typically go and search. Your clients will go and search. And if you have somebody that's really skilled at optimizing your Google page and getting you found, you'll get leads. I know electricians that are spending $5,000 a month on ad spend, and that's low right now. I bet you that will double in the next, you know, couple of years, maybe even faster. And Allan's just getting started on that. And I think you'll see the shift, Allan, where it's like, okay, so organically, you know, I'm capable of generating a couple $100,000. That's my threshold. The only way to get more eyeballs is to pay for them. And the important part about this whole pay for your lead thing, that we're going to have to focus on next with you, Allan, specifically, is as leads come through, are we converting them? Because if we're not converting them, now our cost per opportunity becomes very high, right? If you have 5 or 10 leads that come through via Google, you're going to pay for each one of them. But if you don't have the systems in place to close that client consecutively or consistently, then each one of those leads is going to cost you a lot more money. Right. And so you have a lot of the tools and the skills now with the things that we've talked about, that we worked through to close more of those opportunities. And I think that you'll see that you're in complete control of your business over the next couple months with these ads as they start to present more opportunities. You'll understand that, okay, so if I want more leads, I spend more money, puts more opportunities in front of me. Maybe then you'll have to hire, because you're a Master Electrician, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe you'll have to hire another, other than just a helper, maybe you'll have to hire another guy on site, maybe another Master Electrician. And that's really when your business will start to grow, and you'll start to understand, well, now instead of me working 12 hours by myself, I'm working 12 hours to execute business tasks that all resort in revenue for your business. And you'll learn that now you're in control of everything. And I think because you've already been doing it for 10 years on your own, I think that you'll really be excited about this next phase. Lots of learning, as you grow from solo entrepreneur to, a true business with team members. But I think you're built for it. I think that you're capable of digging into that, uncomfortable shit. But
I don't like losing.
Dude, the hardest part is going to be the babysitting, babysitting. So if you're an employee listening to this, if you're a future employee of anyone, like Allan or any other business, there's lots of things that you can do to be a really good employee. You can just show up consistently. That's number one. Don't call in sick because you're, up all night playing fucking video games and Fortnite and whatever else the hell that you do. Wear work boots, show up with work boots. I one of the contractors that I work with, he is an employee that notoriously just wears Birks all the time. And obviously that's not very fucking professional. So, Allan is not going to be looking for people like that to help him grow his business. But no, dude, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a journey for you for sure. Anything else you want to share with us about, your business, your family, community?
My wife thinks I'm crazy because I want to run a business instead of just go get a job and show up and punch my 8 hours a day. I'm like, well,
I mean, some people are just built for that. Like, I've been on my own for over 2 decades. I think I would be the most valuable employee for somebody, but I just don't think I could work for somebody. I think we'd butt heads a lot. And, it's I work with another guy. He wasn't getting enough lead intake, and so decided to take a bit of a part-time, maybe more than part-time job with a company, and immediately he's like, dude, this is just not for me.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And so, most of the people that give up, that's because that's what it is, giving up. When you find yourself in that place, you're just like, man, shouldn't have given up. So, I don't think that's in you. I don't think you got any give up in you. But if your wife thinks you're crazy, just keep proving her wrong.
Whatever. Is what it is. No, it should be good. I'm looking forward to the new year to grow and do more things.
Awesome. Well, if anybody is looking for an electrician in Prince George, Allan is a great, very decorated electrician. He's got lots of skills and abilities. So changing your fixtures and those easy things are probably something that he could do blindfolded, considering that he was, working on gas plants and all kinds of other places. Allan, where can people find you online?
They can find me at cohoelectric.net and then Coho Electric on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. Well, we'll take a look. Here's his website here. So if you're looking for an electrician, you can give him a call. Actually, his phone number is 250-981-7430. And Allan will take care of whatever electrical services you need. Super exciting. Awesome. Well, Allan, I really appreciate your time today. And, I wish you all the best. I'll be here to support you 110% for you and your family. And we'll continue to press forward and grow your electrical company. Thank you so much for being here today.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well,
All right.
That is all today. Episode 26 locked in. Thank you so much.
All right, that concludes this episode of the Onsite Podcast. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please pay the tax, share the show. Guys, if you want to be a part of the Elite Builder Society, all you got to do is pay $49 a month. That's it. $49 a month. You get 20 group coaching calls every month. Okay? Go to ebsworks.com and register today. If you enjoyed the show, please pay the tax and share the show.